It kind of opens both ends of that end of that pole. Right, so I want to pull on one end to open one end of the line, or one end of the line to open one end of the pole. So I'm going to pull on the line. I'm going to put that guy line right there and leave it. Now it's holding. That's one point of contact. The next point of contact, again, between my body and the mast, is the topping lift. The hook hooks on that. My last point of contact is the ring on the mast. Ring, line, hooked.
Okay.
Now, I mentioned the topping lift has a control line, and here's the control line on the topping lift. Each of the boats are rigged just a tiny bit different because they're all privately owned boats that were donated to us. So we haven't gone through and simplified it. So it's always good when you get in your boat to figure out where your control lines are. This is the topping lift. It raises and lowers the spinnaker pole. Click that off there. Okay. So now my pole is set. My spinnaker is ready to launch. All right. So when it's time for me to launch the spinnaker, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my crew
I got you.
Get the hook out of the rail. You want to come on board and raise the kite? Perfect. I'm not going to go over. A little too tall for my over the. Yeah, I got you. Okay, so Dave's going to raise the spinnaker. I'm going to get ready to fly the spinnaker. So as he pulls the spinnaker hired up, it's right there. He's just going to start pulling. I'm going to put my hand on the pole, and I'm going to pull the guy back. I want that spinnaker to come out of the bag, and I want it to come back and touch the pole. I'm going to take my guy, I'm going to go in this hook here, and then wherever the cleat is. In this case, on the rail back here, or on the seat back here. All right, so now this part of the sail is set. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my spinnaker sheet, which again comes out of the bottom of the boat, and I'm going to ease and start flying my spinnaker. The key here, and the wind is wonky and light and shifting all over the place, so we're not going to really fly it very well here. But the key here, there's a couple of different things. First key is that you want the spinnaker pole and the sail to be touching. Always to be touching. The pole on the outer end and the guy are always touching. We call that marrying the pole. My term is I want to get the pole married to the sail, touching the sail. Okay, so if the pole is back like this, I want to reach forward and push that pole forward so that the sail and the pole are touching. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I want to make sure that the guy is cleated. So wherever that is, it's here on this boat, it's on the seat on one boat, it's on a cleat here on another boat. Just kind of, when you get in your boat, kind of get the lay of the land. Where are my guy cleats? Where are my spinnaker sheets? Where's my topping lift? Where's my spin halyard? Last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fly the spinnaker, and this is when it's going to get a little. You have to use your imagination. Yeah. Because there's no reason what little breeze there is coming from the wrong direction. So the spinnaker will fly out away from the boat. Right? It won't fly into the boat. It'll fly way out away from the boat.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. We just need Dave to follow us along in front to make sure that the boat stays going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the forward edge of the sail, where the spinnaker is attached to the pole. This leading edge of the sail, which is called the luff of the sail. Okay, and it's just like any other sail that you fly. If you let the jib out too far, what happens to it? It luffs. You pull it back in until it stops. If you let the main sail out too far, what happens? It luffs. You pull it back in until it stops. Same thing holds true for the spinnaker. If you let the spinnaker sheet out too far, the sail will curl and collapse. And you don't want that to happen. So you'll curl a little bit, and you'll pull it back in until it stops curling or fills back up.
It's not a very good demonstration on my part, but there's nothing I can do about it.
Oh, I know. It's not great.
So, just so I've got this right, we're assuming we're on port tack?
Right now we are on a starboard tack, right? So the pole is off on the starboard side. That means that the breeze is coming over the starboard side. The boom is out over the port side of the boat.
Okay.
We brought the sail out of the port side of the boat.
The jib will also...
Jib will also be on the port side of the boat as well. Yes. Yep. And having all three sails flying at the same time is perfectly okay. In fact, in the Flying Scots, the third sail stays up. The jib stays up all the time because, if you remember right, if you haven't sailed a Flying Scot, the jib halyard, when you tighten that up, tensions the rig. You don't want to undo the jib halyard because then all of a sudden the rig is super loose and it gets a little wonky. So the jib stays up the spinnaker flies out away from it. When you're on a beam reach or a broad reach, if you're on a broad reach, the pole is going to be back here anyway. Right? So the wind is going to fill in behind you. Right? Another rule of thumb that we use is that we use these telltales, and we'll make sure that every boat that we have that we're sailing with spinnakers has these telltales on the side stays. I got scats and scats of these things. Okay. So basically, what you want to do is you want the wind direction to be perpendicular to the pole angle. Okay. So if the wind is here, the pole is forward. If the wind is here, the pole is back. And what that does is that gets the sail out from behind the mainsail and allows you to catch more wind in it. Right? If the wind is here and your sail is forward, remember you've got this big old mainsail sticking out over here too, blocking the wind of the sail. So you want to what we call square up the pole, and make it square to the wind, and that'll allow the spinnaker to get away from the boat and allow the sail to fill. Okay. Does this all make sense? Can you visualize how this is working? Okay. Kinda.
For the most part.
Good. Okay. Good. It's hard when there's no wind and you can't really see what's happening. No, we're not gonna jive today. Yeah, we'll jive in the next chunk. So now, when it's time to take the spinnaker down,